So we just launched Diffit Chat, which has changed the way teachers are using Diffit and encouraged them to explore more opportunities for how they can use Diffit to support students by scaffolding, adding custom activities, and really leveling the playing field for how students learn and engage with lessons in the classroom. And one of the favorite things that I've heard from teachers about is the fact that it gives you ready to use prompts that actually invite you to think more critically and more intentionally about the content you're creating within Diffit. So I thought it might be fun to go into a resource and use Diffit Chat and only click on the suggested modifications. I'm hoping this is a great way to show you all just how easy it is to use Diffit Chat to customize any resource. I'm starting with a resource about the science of soap bubbles, and I'm only going to use these pre-generated suggestions within Diffit Chat to explore the different things that I can do with this resource. I'm going to start right at the top, and I'm going to say add scaffolding for ELLs. Let's see what happens. So not only did Diffit Chat add a resource to my packet, it actually walked me through exactly what it is and why it's going to help my ELL students. It says it's going to give students a structured way to explore each vocabulary term's characteristics, examples, and non-examples before diving into the reading. Let's head on to the next suggestion. Since you want it as a preview activity, would you like me to move it to the beginning? Okay, so I can move this vocabulary activity to the beginning to use it as a preview. I can keep it where it is, or I can add images. I think it sounds fun to add some images. So let's try that first before we make any other changes. All right, we have a new vocabulary model with images, but Diffit Chat has actually identified an issue with this activity that the vocabulary words don't actually match the vocabulary words in the reading. This happens sometimes. It explained to me what happened and why, and we have some options for how to fix it. So I can create a new activity with soap bubbles, or I can keep the existing vocab activity. I don't know that I have a ton of use for words like ecosystem and metamorphosis when we're talking about the science of soap bubbles. So let's try creating a new custom activity. Now we have a new custom activity. It's got the correct vocabulary words. It's got pictures to match the vocabulary words and places to help students deconstruct definition, characteristics, examples. That's going to help them learn a little bit more about the vocabulary words as they go. Next, chat says, I notice you now have 2 vocabulary activities in your resource. The original one, which has 7 words with no images, and the new custom Frayer model. So do we want to remove one or do we want to keep both of them? Let's take the original vocabulary activity out. Now we're back. We have a complete packet. We're ready to go. If we just wanted to start with the reading and the vocabulary, I think we would be set. I do want to try another one of these prompts that Diffit Chat is suggesting. So I can move the vocab around or simplify the reading. And I'm kind of interested in what that is going to look like. It says rewrite the reading using simpler vocabulary and shorter sentences. Sounds good. Let's try it. This is great. So now we have a new passage, simpler vocabulary, shorter sentences. The summary was also updated to match the simplified reading. So that sounds really great. It sounds like the packet flows nicely. Now I can add sentence starters, create main idea practice, or export to PDF. Let's do some main idea practice today. See what that ends up looking like. Turn the reading into a short main idea practice activity. Sounds good. Great. I actually didn't even know what I was expecting with this main idea by paragraph activity, but I love that it split up the paragraphs, not just by paragraph, but into these boxes with spaces where students can actually write down what the main idea of each paragraph is. So now I'm incorporating some literacy skills, some reading and writing into my science lesson. Now I can add sentence starters. I imagine those are going to be dropped in here, but I'm not totally sure. I can add comprehension questions, and if I'm ready to go, I can export. Let's see what these sentence starters look like. How great. So now students have sentence starters to help them think about the main idea, because again, we're in science class. I'm not assessing their ability to form a sentence and identify a main idea. I'm assessing their ability to comprehend what's going on in this science passage. So I can scaffold the writing skills in order to help them practice the science literacy skills. So I think we're in a pretty good spot. I'm ready to export. And now I'm all done. So hey, if you think you would use this lesson in your classroom, leave me a comment. If you would have made any further modifications, especially if you've used Diffit Chat and you know what changes you would make, I would love to hear about it. And if you have ideas for other types of lessons that I can play around with in Diffit Chat, please let me know.